What is up, guys? I'm back at you again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the new Acura Integra interior that has just been released. And as we know, Acura has revived the Integra nameplate. Many people have been disappointed with it, especially the exterior, including myself. Personally, my expectations were of 3 pillars of success, as I would say. A cool, interesting, or sexy looking exterior. Followed by a nicer looking interior, and the third is more performance than the Honda Civic Si. The first one has fell because I didn't like the exterior. The second one, I think that's falling too because this interior isn't really impressing me too much, but enough talking, I'll just get into it. So just in general, this looks like a copy-paste of a Honda Civic. And in fact, aesthetically, in my opinion, it looks even worse than a Honda Civic. And it looks a little less premium than what you would get in the Civic Touring or even the SI. But the steering, starting with the steering wheel, is the same leather-wrapped steering wheel that you can get starting with a sport trim on a Honda Civic. The only difference here is that there's a Acura logo in it. We know that this version is an A-spec model because of the branding on the bottom of the steering wheel. And we know that this doesn't have this isn't a heating steering wheel because if you look on the Honda Civic, there's a little button in the middle where that A-spec would be, signifying that that heats the seat for you. And this doesn't really have it. So this either is not going to be available on the Integra, or you have to go all the way up to the top of the line, advanced trim, assuming that packaging structure will be the same in order to get that. Above the steering wheel, there could be this little area for a heads-up display. But we'll have to see if we get that. The seats are definitely higher quality compared to the Civic. I like the pattern that they have. The leather looks to be higher quality than what is offered on the Civic Touring. And you also get this ultra suede inserts as you get with other A-specs. And you can see, I also like how the seats look a little bit more bolstered than what we get in the base standard Civic. So going to the center stack and some of the other interior aspects, Acura has elected to break up the honeycomb design by implementing this little plastic gray interior piece. And I think this kind of takes away from the Civic design element because the one piece honeycomb dash kind of is the center point of the Civic interior. And this kind of makes the honeycomb design look a little more awkward in my opinion because you have the same honeycomb dash on the passenger side and also the driver's side, and then it's like just segmented in between them. We get the same 9-inch screen that we see on the Civic Touring. For a base, I think it's fine, but in general, I think it needs to be a little bit larger. Below that, the big plastic interior piece that I pointed out, we do get some leather inserts right below that, above where the glove box would be. And above that little gray interior piece, we get some soft touch ejection molded plastic. They try to make it have a layered look to it, but there's no premium touches like stitching or anything like that. Again, looking at the center stack, the knobs for your HVAC controls, they're the exact same as the Civic. And going a little bit below that, where the gear lever for your 6-speed manual transmission would be, they replaced the material from the Civic with gloss black. And on the Civic, this material is specifically stated, quote, from Honda, it's designed to hide fingerprints and smudges to help maintain a high-end appearance. And Acura has made the stupid choice here to downgrade from that nice material that many people liked. In order to gloss black, they'll do the exact opposite, which will gain fingerprints, smudges, and also scratches as you attempt to use them. The center storage console is going to be the exact same as the Civic, the same with the cup holders as well. Now let's move to the door cards. And again, copy-paste from the Civic. I did notice that the cup holders, that big storage bin where you would put water bottles, a big water bottle or something like that, it's been changed slightly. They moved the speaker from the door to the side, and they put this metal looking trim around it. I say metal looking because on the TLX, I'm pretty sure it's some sort of plastic that they made to look nice. The window switches, it had that same material that I talked about from the Civic on there, but again, Acura made the choice to remove it, and they just put this matte black finish around here. The stitching on the armrest is going to be the exact same that we see on the Civic, and the same with the leather on the door panel. I do wish that they made this trim right where the door handle is a little bit different. If you look at the Acura TLX, They have this nice aluminum trim right there, and it looks really good in my opinion. And again, Acura dropped the ball with this. On the driver's side of the Integra, you're going to get some memory seats, so that's a nice upgrade compared to the Civic. Now moving to the rear, there's nothing to report other than the fact that it's just more copy paste here. So you get no metal speakers. You get no button for heated rear seats that's available on the Civic Touring, at least in Canada. And you don't even get any different trim pieces. You just get the same one that's right off the Civic. You do get two rear USBs, which should be on the car of this price tag, but you don't even get any air vents here. So they did, little to change it up. And again, I get that they're going to have things like the ELS sound system. They might have a heads-up display. You might have some ventilated seats and more adjustable power seats again. But it should be expected because it's Acura, of course. And just overall, I'm a little disappointed by this interior because there's just a lot of copy and paste from the Civic. Yes, the Civic is a good interior. I'm not going to deny that. It's up top 3 in its class. But when you're looking to buy an Acura, you're definitely going to want something a little more premium, a little more special than the Civic. And you can argue that this is not much better, or if it even is better at all, than a Mazda 3. And if you look at other cars in this price tag, I don't know, other performance vehicles such as the Elantra N, for example, you can argue that this has the same amount of premium touches as that car as well. However, I do think the red would make this a little more interesting. Shout out to the person on Acura forums, which I'll put a picture of right here. The main issue is that it just does little to differentiate itself from the Civic or really make itself more premium. And I've seen many comments saying that the 2022 Civic interior looks better than the Acura Integra, which I intend agreeing with. And if you're looking at it from that perspective, considering this is more expensive, supposed to be better than a Civic, that's just not a good place to start. And that already tells you that Acura kind of failed. So now if we take a look at the more luxury-oriented brands such as the Audi A3 or the Mercedes C-Class, this will fall a bit short of that interior-wise. Yes, this will be cheaper, but again, Mercedes and Audi, they've been building brand recognition and cachet for decades, which Acura simply doesn't have. And as a result, people will be willing to pay more to have that Audi logo or Mercedes logo on their steering wheel. And overall, I think Acura should have taken a lot more styling cues from the TLX. Acura did a really great job of improving the TLX, MDX, RDX interior from the Honda counterparts and making it more special than the Honda counterparts. And some of the things that they could have done is some aluminum trill by the door handle, a bigger display than the one offered in the Civic, stitching on the dash, even some gimmicks like ambient lighting that's available on the A3 TLX, on the A3, on the Mercedes A-Class, and the TLX has them. Just something to take it to the next level, something to dress it up. In my opinion, if the Civic is someone wearing, a sweatpants and a hoodie, the Integra is the equivalent of someone taking off the sweatpants and just putting on a pair of jeans at best. Yeah, this is supposed to be a dressed up Civic, as many have said, but this doesn't even achieve business casual, much less a tuxedo. But again, hopefully you guys understand my analogy. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that nothing is making me want to walk into an Acura dealership to buy this rather than its Honda counterparts. And I think the term is just a Civic. It's just an excuse for fans of the Integra to excuse the lack of differentiation and the mediocrity that this vehicle has. And again, there's many automakers that use similar platforms, similar engines, but these automakers are able to appease different niches, different target markets with a similar car. And Acura doesn't really do that here with the Integra, in my opinion. And my last point is, if you go back to 2013 with the ILX, if you look at the interior compared to a TSX or a TL, the ILX takes many sort of design elements from those vehicles and other high-trim Hondas. If you go to 2017, where they refreshed the ILX using the dual-screen setup for better or for worse, still, it has the design cues of the Acura and higher-tier Honda models, And my main gripe with the vehicle, you've heard me say a lot before, is that it's just not really that much different from a Civic. If it's just a Civic, why wouldn't I buy just a Civic? But that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts and opinions of the Integra interior. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe. If you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, or want to add to the discussion, just drop a comment down below telling me your thoughts. And that's pretty much all from me. Thank you for watching. Peace.